days out in this city.
The spirit burns with rage at the carnage wrought on Arx. Rage for the Voidwoken, rage for the Magisters, and rage too for himself and his fellow paladins for failing to see the danger until it was too late.
This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us. This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us. This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us.
Creatures are better off dead.
I heard old Alex died trying to summon a Voidwoken. This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us.
That smell.
This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us. I heard old Alex died trying to summon a Voidwoken.
This again?
Poor creatures are better off dead.
Streets littered with corpses. Never thought I'd see the day.
I've had better days out in this city.
I heard old Alex died trying to summon a Voidwoken.
Junk.
What do you think the paladins would do to us if they urged? Ugh, that smell.
The paladin wistfully hums a tune. You recognize the air. Smoke gets in your hair. As he hums, the words come back to you. There's no smoke without fire. Dark the air. Nothing burns in rainfall, and smoke gets in your hair. He rolls his eyes and turns back to the flames.
That was Rosewood's favorite song, and Rosewood's dead. You didn't know Rosewood. Leave his favorite song alone. You have you? And then you'll mourn his loss like the rest of us.
The spirit's rage burns.
Those paladins will ruin Arks, mark my words. Nothing but a bunch of damn nobles playing soldier.
Out of my way.
The sewer's running as red as the street.
The spirit of an older man observes the nearby painter. He tut-tuts to himself.
That poor boy is wasting his time walking upon well-trodden paths. I thought I raised him better than that. Did you tell him what you thought of his little picture? A budding painter, a journeyman, if you will. I'm afraid I poisoned the well for the poor lad. He had to grow up in the shadow of I, the finest painter Arks has ever seen. I blame myself. I should never have encouraged him as a child. He could have grown up to be a merchant or a dentist, not embarrassing himself like this. Of course I am. I painted the greatest works of art that Arks has ever seen. The Sacrifice of Lucian. My opinion is the only one that matters. They are part of a private collection now, Lord Ken's. Perhaps he'll grant you a viewing, but I doubt it. There's a reproduction on display at the cathedral. Not the same as viewing the original, of course, but it gives the great unwashed something to pray for.
I blame Alexander for this.
A young man works at a canvas mounted on an easel. Smears of what must be red paint are evident on his hands and clothing. He's oblivious, in a daze as he paints.
I didn't just see it, I witnessed it. Now I must preserve it upon canvas for the generations to come.
Days out in the city.
This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us.
He nods, a faraway expression on his face.
The great schism of the Divine Order and the ruination of Arks. This will be my masterpiece. usually only display completed works, but, well, this painting's raw power is already plain to see. Here, feast your eyes.
He gestures to the canvas. It's completely covered in the same shade of red, layer after layer. It's sodden, dripping onto the cobbles. The painter scoffs. He looks quite pale, you notice. Ill, perhaps. A drip of red falls from his sleeve to the cobbles.
You should open your mind. You would see so much more. Not shocked, no. Perhaps a little lightheaded.
He tugs back the sleeve of his tunic to reveal a blood-soaked cloth bandage around his wrist.
No, I must continue. What would my father say if he was still alive to see me now? He was the finest painter of his generation, and he used his own blood for his masterwork, the final panel of The Sacrifice of Lucian. Self-preservation is a petty concern. I must put the spiritual above the corporeal. I must finish. For the most part, a copy can be seen at the great cathedral here in Arx. I visit frequently for inspiration. But the original panel, the one that my father used his blood to depict Lucian's final sacrifice, was given to Lord Kem a long time ago. He keeps it locked away somewhere in that mansion of his. A masterpiece like that should be on public display for all to see.
Ugh, that smell.
Back again, eh? I don't blame you. It's not often that you get to meet a world-class artistic mind, and not my dolt of a son.
The red-splattered young man paces the square once again, in a state of reverie. The statue looms over Arx, hands reaching as if trying to claw above the charnel stench. Though her eyes are blinded to the horrors at her feet, a single tear drips onto your face from beneath her blindfold.
The sewer's running as red as the street.
Poor creatures are better off dead. Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going on like that?
Cracking sighted at sea. Several ships.
I see you avoided the fighting.
There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. What a pile of junk.
You're not another bloody pilgrim, are you? The city's swarming with those tight-fisted bumpkins as it is.
I don't trust those paladins an inch. They don't give a damn about common folk. I hope the Magisters return soon.
Heard old Alex died trying to summon a void worker.
Sundries, oddments, and general miscellany available across the square.
You may yet save your soul.
Please, you've got to help me. My wife, they want to kill her. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to save lives, but no one will listen. You have to help, please. Of being a good person. Please, there's no time. They'll kill her. Go!
In Lucian's holy name, we gather here today to see justice done.
You approach, but the paladin's icy blue eyes never move from his prisoner.
You are interrupting a paladin court, stranger.
You can't call this a court until the end of days, Kem. It's still a disgrace.
The prisoner will be silent. We are beyond accusations. This once paladin is guilty of refusing orders and protecting supporters of the Black Ring.
They were boys. Local boys that signed up for steady pay and a slick uniform. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean every Magister is in league with the Ring.
At best, you are a coward. At worst, you are a traitor. In either case, the sentence is death.
His icy eyes focus on you for the first time, pinning you with a freezing look.
Step aside, stranger. I see. You have my thanks for that. You did us a great service. Now, if you would do me one service more, stand aside. This traitor is sentenced to die. Your words cannot change that. It is time, Paladin.
Kem, please. Kill me if your damned honor demands it, just not here. Not in front of Marie. Take me to the dungeon.
Justice must be seen. It cannot take place in the shadows. Make your peace, Paladin.
Please, don't do this. Not in front of her.
May her sin be forgiven and her name forgotten.
being a good person. Please, there's no time. They'll kill her. Go!
Your impertinence runs deep, Paladin. So too shall
Yeah.
Lucian's holy name. We gather here today to see justice done.
The squirrel lays his hand on you, and a strange feeling ripples through your body. A sense of power. Your mind opens to the possibilities of new magic.
Because you refused a direct order. You broke your oath. The penalty is death.
This is madness!
Paladin de Selby's time is at an end. Give her your words of parting.
Ark's is still a free city. Last time I checked.
May her sin be forgiven and her name forgotten. This we pray in Lucian's name.
Creatures are better off dead.
This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us. I heard old Alex died trying to summon a Voidwalker. This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us.
I've had better days out in this city.
You approach, but the paladin's icy...
You are in...
You can call this...
The prisoner will be silent. We are beyond accusations. This once paladin is guilty of refusing orders.
They were boys. Local boys that signed up for steady pay in a slick uniform. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean every...
At best, you are a coward. At worst...
His icy eyes focus on you for the first time, pinning you with a freezing look.
Step aside, stranger. I am the Paladin Grand Master, the last hope of the Divine Order. I have every right to purge traitors from our ranks. This traitor is sentenced to die. Your words cannot change that. It is time, Paladin.
Ken, please. Kill me if your damned honor demands it, just not here. Not in front of Marie. Take me to the dungeon.
Justice must be seen. It cannot take place in the shadows. Make your peace, Paladin.
Please, don't do this. Not in front of her.
May her sin be forgiven and her name forgotten. This we pray in Lucian's name. Now, back to your duties. There is much to do.
What is this? Am I dreaming? I went to my bunk after patrol duties, and now... this. I'll wake up in a minute. Winslow's snoring always wakes me. This can't be real. What? I don't know anything about the Black Ring. I must be dreaming. I have to be. I saw her enter the city with the Whites. Or did I? Did I dream it? Am I dreaming you?
The Paladin's spirit's last hours flash before your eyes.
The body stays there. Clem's orders.
In battle, you refuse to kill Magisters. For this crime, you face execution at the hands of Lord Ken. In the moment before the blade comes down, you accept the reality of your death.
Says so, and not before.
I heard that the Paladins killed unarmed Magisters.
You let them kill her. You... Oh, sweet Lucian. Oh, blessed divine.
The body stays there. Chem's orders.
The body stays there. Chem's orders.
Her wife can drag her away when Chem says so, and not before.
I heard that the Paladins killed unarmed Magisters. Didn't even let them surrender.
Too loud. What do you think the Paladins would do to us if the urge had gone wrong like that?
Arks is still a free city, last time I checked.
Bodies in the streets.
Her wife can drag her away when Chem says so, and not We just had to execute one of our own for disobedience. So don't think we'll tolerate any meddling from the likes of you. Tread carefully.
What a shame. She handled a blade better than any of us. She would have been useful.
This is such a waste of time.
Her wife can drag her away when Chem says so, and not before.
Her wife can drag her away when Chem says so, and not before.
Someone ought to move de Selby's corpse. His wife's still here for Lucian's sake.
You think the Paladins...
Arks is still a free city, last time I checked.
The paladins that died today went into the ground. The Magisters into the fire. Where am I to put someone like her?
Well, that's one more problem dealt with. Arks will be thriving again in no time, now that we're free of vermin.
I pray her blood doesn't stain the coppers. I do not want to be reminded of this day.
Your blood for my blood, scum. May your wounds never heal.
The spirit of a Magister jabs a spectral finger into the paladin's wound, while muttering some profane-sounding curse.
I'll do as I please. This paladin filth hacked me down right here in our headquarters. She's going to suffer for what she did to me.
The spirit thinks for a moment, then moves back from the paladin.
Very well. I am done with this world.
Last. Thank you. The wound's closed over. Thank you. Here, I found this on one of the Magisters. It looks valuable. Take it, with my thanks.
The spirit of a half-dressed Magister stands before you, fumbling to draw his phantom blade from its sheath. The spirit manages to draw his sword and utter a challenge, though not one aimed at you.
Alarm! Sound the alarm! There's paladins attacking! Where are the whites?
He starts to swipe and jab his sword at an unseen opponent.
For all the fighting, I never once saw Dallas with the Magisters. The snake is probably cowering in some burrow. Lord Kem's gotten reports that she's somewhere near. As for exactly where, well, I guess they're still searching.
This fire was set on purpose.
Nothing. Just more Magister rubbish.
Fools!
Careful now.
They aren't even
Careful.
in the
Trap.
right spot. They'll never find what they want.
The Magisters fought with all the skill you would expect of peasants. Not that we were flawless. De Selby always said I held my sword too low when we drilled. I thought of her as we cut them down. Of course, a victory is a victory, even if it comes at a cost. A few, but you could taste the Magister's desperation. They even torched their own barracks to slow us down with the smoke. A lot of good that did, eh?
Something I didn't want found. A lot of blood spilled. Not much to show for it so far. We even had to put one of our own to the sword for disobeying orders. You saw that, didn't you? Lord Kem's in no mood for suffering fools. We had better find some sign of the Whites soon. Nothing! And Kem is getting restless. We've got to make something happen, and soon.
You there! Be sure not to obstruct Paladin business. We're to search this place top to bottom. We haven't, but we will. Not that it's any business of yours.
If you see any of the Whites, then be sure to let us know. Capturing one of them might make this bloody farce worthwhile.
Still can't believe the Magisters were in cahoots with the Black Ring. Still, at least there's one less villain, thanks to Lord Kem. But with the Reds slain and the Whites ousted, maybe now we can restore the Divine Order to its former glory. It might be if you quit preoccupying me. If Kem says we'll find something, then we'll find something, and that's that.
I keep hoping I'll find Dallas's body in some pile of Magister corpses. No luck yet, though.
If you see any Whites, report it to us right away. We need to have a little chat with those thugs.
Barracks was meant to be surrounded. How did they slip by?
If there was anything important here...
There is a thin line between a hero and busybody meddling in other people's business. Be wary of that line. It may have escaped your notice, but we have just taken over an entire Magister barracks and the whole place has to be searched. So, what is it? The Whites have betrayed the memory of Lucian in the most heinous manner. We've had our suspicions, but then proof arrived from the Black Pits. Collusion with the Black Ring. But we put a stop to their treason. The Order must persist. The Order must endure. The Magisters can no longer have power. She disobeyed orders. She paid the price. I won't shed tears for some traitor. The Lord Dread lies in the harbor, but the hammer isn't aboard. Nor is she among the piles of Magister bodies. But rest assured, your help is not needed. My paladins will find her, and she will face divine justice. Very well. We know that Dallas and the Whites conducted their heresy from these barracks. If they were all working for the Black Ring, and I believe they were, There must be some sign of it in this building, perhaps even a safe house. We don't have much yet, but we will tear down every brick until we find their wretched hiding hole, and then we'll haul Dallas into the light. Not much, at least not yet. The White Magisters were in these barracks when the fighting began, an entire cabal of them. If we find them, we will find Dallas, I have no doubt. They must have left some clue as they ran. Something that will lead us to their secret little den. Find it! Who can truly know a diseased mind? She is rotten to the core. That I am sure of. Although much as I despise the creature, I have never known her to be a coward. She fought well in battles against the Black Ring. Wherever she's hiding, she will not go quietly. I pray it helps. Voidwoken at one gate and the Black Ring at the other. We need to stop this madness. Do you need anything more? That was fine work, and brave too. You have my thanks. I presume Tom has paid you? Enjoy the city, won't you? Arx is wonderful at this time of year. Nothing, and more nothing. This is a waste of my damn time. Honorable Dallas. Nothing interesting. Honorable Dallas, man. Lost a ship.
Not much bloody order in this place.
The Whites must have left something of value behind.
If there was anything important here, the Whites must have surely taken it.
Anything important here, the Whites must have surely taken it.
A spillage all over the floor. The plaque reads, "To, Order of Society." The plaque reads, "For." The plaque reads, Engraved on the plaque are the words, "Discipline of Body." The plaque reads,
If I were a white, where would I hide something I didn't want found?
Careful, please. The Magisters didn't want anyone poking around in here. Boring.
What's this? I found something.
Order of Society, the Magisters say? Not much bloody order in this place.
What's this then? The Paladins resorting to bringing in outsiders to try and decipher my work.
He sneers at you. His spectral form bears impressions of severe burn injuries.
No matter. You'll fail just like them. I was the High Cryptographer of the Magister Order, until the Paladins killed me. Coded letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm dead, you'll never decipher any of it. My work will outlive you all. My task was to protect secrets, not to interpret them. But let me say this. The notion that we would have anything to do with the Black Ring is absurd. Patently absurd.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry scowl.
Desperate measures made necessary by the treacherous actions of our so-called allies. My encryption guards the most important secrets. My very life's work was to hide key intelligence from the light of both sun and source. What I know and what I have seen shall remain in shadow.
A combination lock is embedded into the face of the hatch with 4 numbered dials.
Nothing. Just more Magister rubbish.
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
A combination lock is embedded into the face of the hatch with 4 numbered dials. A sequence of numbers has been engraved on the face of the mechanism. 1324. Below this are 4 dials. Each of the 4 dials bears 4 phrases that can be rotated into place. The first dial must be set. The mechanism clicks. The second dial has the same 4 phrases to select from. A sequence of numbers has been engraved on the face of the mechanism. 1324. Below each of the 4 dials, the first dial must be set. The mechanism clicks. The second dial has the same 4 phrases to select from. The mechanism clicks once again. The third dial bears the same options as before. Another click. One last dial remains, with the same phrases as all the others. The final dial clicks. Then, deeper within the mechanism, the sound of gears turning and a bolt withdrawing. The hatch yields, clicking open.
What? No, it can't be. You cheated. My life's work. Defeated by some nobody.
The spirit vanishes. Whether he fled to the Hall of Echoes or elsewhere, you cannot be sure.
Someone worked hard to keep this place secret.